Hi, I'm gonna try to film this entire video in one go because I am so tired and so exhausted and I have a lot to say on this topic and I feel like I've been saying it forever, but I can't clearly communicate how difficult it is to find a job in today's day and age. And of course, I'm only speaking from a design point of view. I'm a fashion designer and I can't even explain to you the amount of experience I have. Actually, I could explain it to you. I've explained it on every single job interview that I've had, if I'm even able to get a job interview. But it's just insane to me how we're living in a world where we're all taught to go to college, right? We're taught that going to college is the smartest thing that we can do. And somehow we have so many students who are graduating, including myself, with a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I have a master's degree, and we're still so stuck and still so lost after we graduate because the career services at our schools might not help us. I mean, in my case, there's been no help with career services. I've never found a job through career services. I've done all the work myself. And in undergrad, I pushed myself so hard to get every single experience that I could get. I would leave school early and I would go to Manhattan and I would assist Fashion Week and assist Playboy and assist all these designers. And I designed for Kesha's world tour. I did so much in my undergrad. And I mean, that was right after I graduated. I was designing for Kesha's world tour, her 2021 live tour. And then after that, I had an internship, a design internship. And then that was my fifth design internship at that point. But I've assisted over 30 designers in New York, London, Paris, and Milan. And then after that, I went to graduate school. I got my graduate degree in collection design, which is basically fashion design, but it's more advanced. It teaches you the production side as well as the fashion design side. So that's why I ended up starting my brand after graduation, because I was able to take what I learned in that program and push it myself outside of the program and then start my small team in Firenze. But after doing all of that, because my goal as a designer and as a person was to go to school. I wanted to go to school and get all the skills I could get in school and anything I could not get in school to make me a well-rounded designer. I wanted to get outside of school. So I did that. I went to school, and then the things that I couldn't learn in school, I either created independent studies for couture techniques, Optitex design. I wanted to learn how to digitally pattern make garments because I'm seeing how this industry is being so fueled and pushed into the digital sphere right now. And I really wanted to be ahead of that curve. So I taught myself that. We didn't have menswear design in my program, so I made an independent study on menswear design. I really tried to do everything I could within the school perimeters, but then I pushed it outside of the school perimeters. And that's where I was 18 years old, 19 years old, assisting New York Fashion Week. I then went to London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. I did everything I could to ensure that I would get a job after graduation. And I'm now 25 years old. I have so much experience that I'm applying to jobs, and designers are literally telling me, I just applied to a job in the Netherlands, okay? Really good company. They responded to me and they said, after a week, I hadn't heard a response after a week of our interview, and I submitted my project because for a lot of these positions, you have to submit an internship project. Okay. So it's free work, by the way. So after you have an interview, you submit an internship project. And they review that internship project, and that project is a lot of work. It's usually technical sketches, fashion illustrations, research on the brand and the brand's archive and history. And usually they'll ask you how you can integrate the brand currently into the Gen Z market. So you're basically creating new designs and prototypes and things like that for the brand. So even if you don't get selected, they can technically use your work if they want to. So I completed the project. I sent it to them. I hadn't heard back in a week. And then a week later, I heard back from them. And they said to me, we are so sorry. We reviewed your work and you are too talented for this position. You have too much skill set and experience for this position. So we are so sorry. We selected another candidate. So I was like, okay. So I had another interview a couple days ago with a different company, right? And I was telling them all my experience, and I was expecting to hear the same thing because I've heard this from so many companies now that I have too much experience for the starting level roles. So I applied to a mid-level role. And they looked at me and they said, like on the interview, they were like, we are so sorry. We're looking for someone with 5 to 8 years of design experience at like one specific job. And they were like, we just hired another master's student who had 2 extra years of experience. So they had a master's degree. They worked 2 years as a designer after their master's degree. And they said they just hired a student like that with those credentials as a starting level designer, as a junior base level designer. And I was like, what? So this person started at the company after having constant design experience until they were 28 years old. They started at the company as a junior level, entry level designer with all of that experience under their belt. So in my brain, I'm like, companies won't hire you if you have too much experience because they don't want you to overpower the team. But then they won't hire you if you don't have 10 years of experience or 8 years of experience. So what do you do if you are a quick learner? Like this literally goes back to like, you remember in school how they had like those programs for like, how do I explain this? You know how like if you were in school and you were a student who was a very quick learner, like I was a very quick learner in school growing up, okay? And we had a lot of students in the class who weren't. So oftentimes like I would finish work early, right? Like I would finish all my work. And instead of them giving me more work to push my knowledge, I would sit there and wait like for a whole class period for the rest of the students to catch up so that I could start learning the next lesson with everyone at the same time. It's like, this is how I feel. This has been a pattern in my life. And I feel like this is what's happening now. I have experience working with so many designers. I literally can work in every single product category in design. I literally can design for anyone and anything. Give me the prompt, I will be able to design it. I can do the technical sketches. I learned how to work with production. I built a small team in Florence starting at the age of 23 years old. I started my team in Florence, okay? I've been working so hard and it's been so difficult, but it's been so rewarding because I now can say that I know so much about the industry. I have a full curriculum vitae. I have all of the experience, but I feel like I'm being shorted because now I'm stuck. Like now I'm living in Italy. I have all of the experience that I should need, plus a lot more to fulfill a junior level design position. Absolutely. And I can't even get hired for that. And then when I apply for a mid-level design position, which is a little bit higher because the junior levels I'm too qualified for, I don't have enough experience. I don't have 10 years of experience for a mid-level design position. So I'm like, it literally makes no sense. So it's been a year of me applying to jobs. And of course I'm getting annoyed because like even my family is like, Chandler, what are you doing with your life? You're doing nothing with your life. And I'm like, I'm trying so hard. I've applied to literally 700 applications. And yes, that sounds insane, but I do have to say a lot of these applications were prompts, which means I applied to them through LinkedIn or through some other like websites where it's like a prompt. And a lot of times it's like AI robots or things like that will review them. And those usually are not successful, but it's very difficult to find design emails that will go directly to the person you want to contact. I've tried my best, but it's difficult. And in general, I've applied to like 700 positions and it's always the same thing. I'm either too qualified or underqualified. There's no middle ground. And it's like, it's just insane to me because I will start at a lower position with all my skill set because I know that I'll be able to work up fast in the company. But it's like these companies don't believe in you or they're scared that you're going to overpower the team. I have no idea. And then like a couple of days ago, I have an interview, right? And they literally said to me on the interview, they said, how tall are you? And I was like, isn't this a fashion design interview? Like I'm applying to a fashion design position. And I told them that I told them my height, like 5'9". And they were like, okay. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, I'm literally just so irritated because it's like, I was having like a decent interview, and then I get asked a question that has literally nothing to do with anything. And it's just like, I just want a company to value like my skill set and my time and my life that I've dedicated to this career. Like, I completely understand how fashion design works. I've seen the ins and outs of the industry since I was 17 years old, and I like literally stepped foot in the industry. I know it's toxic. I've been through shit that I will probably never talk about because it's like literally traumatic. The fashion industry is fucked, and I know this, but I didn't realize that connections in terms of like family connections are like not 90% of importance when it comes to finding a job. Everyone that I've met through graduate school, most of them had family connections who were able to like get them a job right after they graduated. I got all of my internships myself, all of them. I got all of my freelance positions myself. I got all of my jobs myself. But now that I'm graduated and I'm looking for like a full-time position design job at a luxury fashion house, it's like impossible because I don't have a family connection. And it sucks because it's like, I know my work is good. I've had designers, big designers, look at my portfolio recently and say, your work is absolutely amazing, but we don't have a position to fill. Like your work is so good, but it's like too good for this position that we have open. Like, this is literally what they're telling me. I know my work is very, very good, but because I don't have that leg of a family member to help pull me into the industry, I'm stuck. And like the amount of money that I've spent on education is absolutely insane. Like my school that I went to, Syracuse University, I don't know if it still is, but when I went a few years ago, it was the most expensive university in the United States of America. Okay. And then I go to Polymota, which I'm like so blessed that I like was able to pursue my fashion career at Polymota at like an esteemed, prestigious Italian fashion school. And of course, it's extremely expensive because it's a private school. So it's like all of this money, all of this time, all of this passion and this huge dream. And I've been stuck for a year with so much talent. And all I need is one person to value that. And I know that this is just me venting, but it's like, I know there's so many other people going through the same exact thing. And it sucks because I'm seeing these people that are younger than me and they're being treated the same exact way in the industry. They're working so much unpaid work. Like not like so many of my internships were unpaid. I was very lucky that a few of them were paid, but that's only because like with the ratio of assisting over 30 designers, hopefully some of them will be paid. You know what I mean? But this is my rant. I'm not editing this. I'm just going to upload it now. I'm really upset. If you have any advice from someone who is working in the fashion industry, if you've been through the same thing, please let me know like what to do because I'm fucking stuck. And like, again, I'm revising my portfolio. I'm revising my resume. I'm revising everything. And it's like already like, so it's good. I know it's good, but it's like, I don't know what else to do. And I'm sending a million more emails to contacts that I don't even know if they'll receive them, you know? Okay. I'm so stressed. Damn it. I love you guys. Pray for me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.